I had a near-death experience. I was at a friend's birthday function in one of the private side rooms at the Southern Cross Hotel in Wellington, sipping on a glass of bubbly. I started coughing, and just as we were starting to sing Happy Birthday, I quickly left the area so that my coughing didn't drown out the song. Suddenly, I experienced a sensation of my throat completely closing over. I couldn't speak and I couldn't breathe. I leaned against a wall near to the toilets. Everything was dim, and I felt as though I was inside a diving bell. Time seemed to pass very slowly, and I felt calm and very peaceful. I didn't feel afraid. I thought about my daughters and how well they were doing in their lives, and about my partner, who was in the other room. I saw images of myself as a child, and I experienced some real clarity about how momentary we are as people. I vaguely wondered if there was anything I could do to help myself. Then I remembered that I had a Ventolin inhaler in my pocket, which I carry because I'm an asthmatic. And I thought that maybe if I fired a whole lot of Ventolin into the back of my throat, that might open up my airway. So I did that, and I experienced a high-pitched squealing sound inside of myself as I began to breathe again. I was pale and my lips were blue. After I had stopped gasping, the worried people around me took me back to my partner, who had no idea that I hadn't just been in the loo for quite a long time. I found out from the hospital later that I'd had an allergic reaction to something, and the action that I took meant that effectively I had saved my own life. Oh, that's good. So, having that experience and then turning 60 gave me an opportunity to really think about my life. I realised that I had experienced and survived many other near-death experiences that hadn't taken place in public. I was in a violent relationship for 17 years with the father of my children. I was 19 when I got married in 1971, totally naive and from a sheltered and loving family. In those days, I was a student nurse. A nurse's worst fear was that she would be left on the shelf. So marriage was really something to aspire to. I had a large wedding, and there was a write-up about it in the local paper. I was so hopeful for the future. The extreme violence began on the very first night of my honeymoon, which I understand now is not an uncommon time for it to begin. I was shocked. I had no idea what to do. There were lots of wedding presents everywhere. I had no words to describe what had happened. What words could I use? And over the years, the violence continued, and I kept it a secret. I said nothing until I escaped. When I think back now, I know I was lucky to survive. I'm appalled and saddened that today, even though there is so much more discussion about this issue, statistics confirm that violence against women in New Zealand is increasing, and that on average, one woman is killed every week. So, tonight, in my 60s, is a chance for me to celebrate being alive, being happy, and counting the good things. I'm in a loving relationship with my partner Sue, I can vaguely see, and I've got some great friendships and amazing daughters and grandchildren. Oh, love you too, baby. I enjoy living simply, giving freely and generously, and I love to sing in Wellington's amazing queer choir, the Glamophones. Being in my 60s means that I don't have to adhere to any social prescription on how I have to live my life. I can choose for myself.